host, Realtor Adele, your favorite realtor and investment property strategist. Welcome to the monthly housing market report, where we discuss home prices and appreciation, mortgage interest rates, housing affordability, and current real estate trends. We also take a look at the economy, jobs market, rate of inflation, and whatever else may be going on globally or politically that may impact the way we buy and sell real property. In this month's report, we are highlighting mortgage interest rates. Rates dropped consistently week after week in the month of September, and we'll find out why that is. We're also highlighting home prices and why they've stalled. We will uncover the factors that have led up to this. Lastly, we will address talks of a recession, get some insight from a few industry leaders, and of course, we'll wrap this all up with Atlanta housing market trends. We'll find out what's going on with home prices in that market, as well as see how long it's taking to sell a home in today's market. Let's begin. Mortgage rate expectations were projected to be 6.55% for the fourth quarter for a 30-year fix. September rate exceeded those expectations, with rates consistently dropping each week in the month of September. The first week, rates came close to 6.5%, consistently decreased and finally settled at 6.3%. A 0.2% decrease may not seem like much month over month. However, long term, it can equate to thousands of dollars saved on the interest over the life of the loan. Let's talk a bit about how mortgage interest rates are determined. I think until recently, mortgage rates weren't top of mind. No one really cared about how they were determined. In walked inflation, right? And it made us wonder, what is this about? Where did you come from? More importantly, why aren't you leaving? At least that's how it played out in my mind. Seriously, I don't think that collectively we really paid attention to mortgage interest rates until we started seeing inflation in the goods and services that we were consuming. Now, a few things determine mortgage interest rates. Of course, inflation, yes, local and global economies, the jobs market, and other factors such as political policies, etc. Now, inflation usually is a response to the level of risk in the economy and the financial markets. And it is the Fed's goal to manage inflation in order to avoid a recession. This is done primarily through the federal funds rate. While the Feds don't set mortgage rates, they do influence whether rates go up or down, since rates tend to follow whichever way the federal funds rates are trending. The Fed funds rate is basically a tool used to manage inflation. If inflation rises, increased rates tend to slow the economy, thus making purchases generally unaffordable. This slows the pace or rate of rising costs. This chart shows the current rate of inflation in comparison to the Fed's target goal rate. The current rate is 2.9, and that is a significant decrease from where we were when the market was at its peak in March of 22, which is 5.3. The Fed's goal is a target rate of 2%. Now, it's been a number of years, 2022 to current day. In 2022, that peak was 5.3. We are currently at 2.9. The Fed's goal is 2.0. How long it's going to continue to take to get there, who knows? What I do know is that it's not something that will happen overnight. This requires a delicate balance in order to avoid volatility. On top of everything that's going on, there's talks of a recession, understandably so. However, this isn't the first time. Earlier this year, there were conversations about a pending recession. This was mainly due to the fact that foreclosure filings had significantly increased from a few years ago. While a recession isn't anything to take lightly, the perception at the time that the sky was metaphorically falling really wasn't the case. Yes, foreclosure filings have increased, but keep in mind that a good amount of these are because the forbearance that was put in place as a result of the health crisis in 2020 have lifted, and certain loan protections are no longer in place. One thing's for sure: homeowners in today's market have a significant amount of equity in their homes and have the option of selling and satisfying the outstanding amount owed with money left over that can help with a fresh start. Long story short, those whisperings of a recession have resurfaced, and this time for a different reason. In light of that, here's what Chief Economist for Moody's Analytics, Mark Zandi, had to say about it. The risks are increasingly high that we're going into a recession. We're not there yet, and maybe this thing gets turned around, but that's becoming increasingly hard to do with each passing week. The recent decline in mortgage rates, coupled with moderate home prices, naturally have resulted in some home buyers getting off the sidelines and applying for a home loan. Home price growth has slowed, and that is a direct result of increased inventory. Since all real estate is local, these numbers will naturally differ regionally. There is slower price growth in the West and South. Overall home price growth is 2.94%. Here we can see the decline in home price growth over the last 2 years. Let's jump to the middle of the chart and progress right. Taking note from last summer to this summer, the decline in home price growth is evident. Let's take a look at housing market trends in Metro Atlanta, starting with single family detached homes. Pending sales 3,340, actual closed sales 3,836, days on market 38, average sales price $576,308, month supply of inventory 4.4. Sellers are currently receiving 98.4% of their asking price. As for condos and townhomes, pending sales 864, closed sales 944, days on market 53, average sales price $394,287, month supply of inventory 6.1. Sellers are receiving 97.9% of their asking price. When housing inventory is greater than the amount of home buyer demand, it is considered a buyer's market, since buyers have more leverage in this scenario. The reverse applies in a seller's market. This is when there is more buyer demand than homes available in a given period. A balanced market is when neither side has the advantage. In this scenario, there's more of an even playing field, and it's more about what works for both parties in order to get the deal done. This slide further maps out the specifics. If you have a home or investment property that you're thinking of selling, or if you're curious about its current value, scan the QR code for an estimated home valuation. The results are based on a combination of actual home sales within a certain radius of your home or property. Of course, if you're interested in a more customized valuation, please contact me and I'll be happy to provide that for you. Let's recap. The month of September, we saw consecutive mortgage rate reductions week after week, which of course resulted in lower mortgage payment expectations for home buyers. The reduced rate in mortgage may have been in response to a weakened jobs market. Home price growth varies region by region. Some markets are experiencing a decline in home price growth, while others are actually experiencing an increase in home price appreciation. Overall, home price growth is the slowest it's been since the summer of 2023. And in light of economic factors, continued insertion of political policies, continued activities of war, and tariff-driven inflation, there are whisperings that a recession is inevitable. Average home price in Metro Atlanta for a single-family detached, $576,308. Days on market, 38. Inventory is at 4.4. For condos and townhomes, average sales price $394,287. 53 is the days on market and 6.1 months supply of inventory. In regard to the asking or the list price, property sellers of detached homes are receiving 98.4% and 97.9% for condos and townhomes. As always, it's my goal to provide you with accurate information from trusted sources so that you can make the best decisions for yourself and your families. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, scan the QR code to download your free home buyer or seller guide. If you found value in anything I've shared, please like this video. Of course, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Most importantly, please share this video with anyone whom you feel may find value in it as well. And that's all for now. See you on the next one.